So I thought I'd make a video talking about the Infinity I just got versus my Atlas. Keep in mind I don't have a very high round count on this, so it's an initial impression. You know, I might have different opinions come a few thousand rounds. But I got about 10K on this, and I got 575 rounds on this. So I'll go over the build real quick. It's a 4 1/4 sight tracker. All the serrations are their 350 diamonds. Obviously the frame's aluminum because it's anodized purple. Weighs about 28 ounces. I think it's 28.4. Got the engraving on it. Some frame checkering, extended safety, enlarged trigger guard internally, double undercut, wide safeties. They're not that wide. I probably would go with their extra wide. QB hammer, Trax hammer. They also have a QB hammer. Both are bobbed hammers. Rail cut mag weld. Tri-top butt with a radial flute, so it looks kind of strange. I thought it looked cool with a little radius in there. Trigger pull's about 3 pounds. I think it's a little bit nicer than my Atlas. It's a little heavier on the Atlas as well. It's probably about 3.5. It's got less travel to the wall, but that's not really something I care a whole lot about. It's more the brake. And the brake is excellent on both, but it's just a little bit nicer on the Infinity. Reset's pretty comparable. Maybe slightly better reset on the Atlas. The weight difference, because this is steel frame, it's about, I think, 39 ounces. This is like 28.4, so about 11 ounces more. The both without the light, just as is unloaded. This thing is a little snappier, as you would surmise from that, but the sight tracker, it's really easy to track it during recoil. Shoots really well. In the 575 rounds through it, 400 were 124 grain, 100 were 115 grain reman, and then 75 were 135 grain plus P. And I had 7 malfunctions in the second mag, which was the 115 grain reman. After that, I had no more malfunctions. In case you're curious what they were, 1 was a failure to feed, the rest were failures to eject. I just don't think it had enough energy to reciprocate the slide. I used the lubricant that they put on it. I put a little bit more. It's their blue oil. It's a bit more viscous than what I'm usually using, and it's about 20 degrees out, so it's kind of cold. And I had my reservations as if it would do a good enough job, but it seemed to stay well lubricated throughout the round count. It's also got steel insert rails on the frame, which is pretty rad. You're not going to wear your aluminum fast. You know, steel versus aluminum, steel's going to win, so it's steel on steel. Your frame's going to last a lot longer. So that's neat. The fit is incredibly tight. Really nice and smooth now. A little, you know, less smooth when I first got it. See if I can get that in frame. I got some oil coming out the back, but there is very little seam around the ejector. A little bit more around the rails, but as I said, it's got the steel insert rails that are elevated around the aluminum, so it's got to have clearance there. Atlas, definitely a little looser. And this I had some issues with, failures to return to battery. I have relatively weak grip pressure, and this is running a 9-pound spring, which is pretty light. And for me, it just wouldn't always return to battery. I had a very rare, but I had probably 6 or 7 times that happened in the first 2K rounds. Strange. I couldn't intentionally replicate it with limp wrist, so I really don't know if it was just because I have weaker grip pressure or not. But I had it loosened up and sprung up just about a ½ pound, and then it had no issues through the rest of the rounds. I put through it about 8,000 more rounds, and runs great now. But definitely looser. Loose might be more reliable. If you really just want tight for aesthetics or whatever, I mean, I'm sure it's comparable as far as accuracy. I can't tell the difference. I'm not going to go bench rest on that. It's not my thing. I don't care. The just apparent fit, feel, finish. I think the Affinity feels nicer. However, I think that both of these are top tier, excellent firearms, and it really comes down to what you want. If you just want a gun to go fast, I don't really think either is going to matter a whole lot. I think your skill level is going to dictate that more than which one you buy. I think it's more if there's a specific feature or texture or something that you want that Atlas just doesn't offer, and Infinity could do it for you, or if you just want to go full out on vanity and do something kind of flashy for the sake of it. I more so just wanted a lighter weight carry option. I love carrying this thing, but it is heavy, and if I'm carrying it for a long time, I get kind of tired. So I prefer something a little lighter, and already spending all the money, and Infinity offers a ton of coating options, so I figured, why not get a dumb Dark Souls reference? This is got a dumb Bloodborne reference engraved on it. Like games, thought it'd be cool. And then favorite color is purple, get the frame and it dyes purple. And I think it turned out pretty killer. I know a lot of people are going to think it's disgusting and gross because they just think it's too gaudy. I mean, it's the same as Too Fast, Too Furious. You know, it's the Cracker Jack toy kind of paint job on it. But I like it. Shoots great. I would say that the first 500 rounds went really well. Better than I expected it with how tight it was. Safety's still pretty stiff. Slide stop's still pretty stiff. They're definitely smoothing out, but looking forward to putting more rounds through it. Something I will note, their mags, I had 2 of them loaded for about 6 months prior. They took a set, wouldn't consistently lock the slide back, which isn't really a huge deal. These ones, which are flush, as small as I can get them for the mag well, hold 20 rounds of 9mm, and they won't fit in your other guns. At least they probably won't. The cut for the mag release is down lower, so the mags sit up higher in the frame of the gun. Supposedly it'll help with feeding. I mean, I imagine it will. You're getting it closer to where it needs to go. But it won't work in the other guns. It only works in Infinities. I can get other mags to feed in this, but they have no hope of locking back. The follower is just too low. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's nice and it's worth the money. If you really care and want to know how much it was, I don't have an exact number because I had a bunch of add-ons, but it's probably around $7 grand for this. And I think my Atlas was around $5,906 with the 1 mag, no add-ons, no nothing. I also got about, I think, 8 or 9 more mags for the Infinity, and I got the spare tools and stuff with it just because I figured, why not? Never have too many tools. And I got the spare parts kit. Bunch of recoil springs, they give you 20. And some other small parts. Get some main springs, you get a firing pin, I think 2 or 3 more firing pin springs, you get another ejector, they're interchangeable breech face, you get another extractor spring and screw for that, and they give you a spare slide stop, because odds are you're going to wear your slide stop out before any other major part in there. It just takes a beating. And they fit them and color match them. That's, optional. You don't have to get that. I would probably do that. The only kind of reservation I had as far as Infinity was their warranty. Same as Atlas, it's 1 year and they'll take care of anything unless it's something really weird that you do to it. But then after that, you pay for it, and then after 5 years, they will no longer service their guns, and they'll just refer you to a gunsmith. So if you're a competent gunsmith, get some spare parts, or you can give parts to another gunsmith, no worries. I don't plan to get this up to an insane round count and wear anything major out. I'm going to probably get it up between 5 to 10K and just carry ammo out of it, rotate it out, not shoot it a whole lot. Just keep your carry gun, from ever getting to a point where it's likely to wear out, and then just keep shooting this for training. Both are incredible. Couldn't go wrong with either. So that's it. See ya.